Okay, we're rocking again because I can't delete shit off my iPad. Yeah, we were talking. I don't know if I'm gonna fucking sync this up, so this may not even make any fucking sense. People are like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Because I put this up as part one. But what spurred that? What were you talking about? About editing the videos.
Edits, like, you know how good, that's what gets you in trouble. You don't really filter. You just turn the video on and you literally just start talking, and then you end it and you're like, oh, it's gone up.
That's literally it. Like I've talked about that before because it's funny. I was literally just saying it that the reason I get such nice comments from people back to like, I love how real you are and I love how you just say shit as it is. It's like, because I'm not filtering anything and I don't know how to edit my fucking videos. Like, that's what I was talking about, because you were talking about like Rob Lipson and people that have really smooth editing videos, and people are like, you asked me downstairs, that's what spawned that. You asked me downstairs, you were like, do you edit your videos? It's like, I don't fucking know how, you know? And basically the reason I get in so much trouble and get heat and shit is because I don't filter anything. I also don't think before I fucking speak. So if someone gives me a topic, I don't name any of my videos until after I've made the video, because I literally cover the topic and then go rant, like, and I'm on the fucking, the video's done and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll call it this, like, because I don't even know what I'm talking about.
So much. Like, I just don't even think it just comes out.
And watch my next episode of the podcast that's going up Monday week, because I planned that one out.
Listen.
Listen. Oh yeah, listen to my podcast. Yeah, listen to my podcast. You can look at it as well. There's a lovely photo of me on the front. Listen to the podcast. And I actually, because I planned out the last one, which was talking about colds and flus and what to do when you're sick, I didn't swear as much because I fucking planned it, you know. So it's everything else. You know when something's off the cuff, because any video I've got in trouble for, or any video that's gone viral or any of that shit, it's because I've just gone, you know. And you can tell because my language is way worse because I'm speaking as I find. This is why I make these videos. This is why we came up with this idea. I was like, all right, you know what, you guys just fucking talk at me.
It's just more casual.
And it's more casual, and I'll answer, because there's none of this. It's the same way I can do my Snapchat Q&As, you know? Because people are like, how the fuck do you do so many? Like, I do my Snapchat Q&As 6 days a week, you know? I put up nearly 6 or 7 videos a week because they don't take me fuck all time. Because I'm like, oh, I know the answer to that. I have an opinion on that. Like, the reality is, people always ask, because I put out a lot of content, probably more than anybody, you know? I put up 6 or 7 blog posts a week, 6 or 7 videos, same thing on Instagram, Snapchat Q&As. But the reality is, when you have an opinion on everything, it's really easy to put up fucking content, because like someone will ask me something like, I have an opinion on that, and I'll answer it, you know. And then also it helps when, like, and I've talked to you about reference points. This is what spawned this whole idea, was we were talking about reference points in books the last day, that you have somewhere to pull it from. Like, you look around we're up in my fucking bedroom office here. Like, there's fucking books on the floor. There's fucking, these are all my favorite books. Like, my fucking bookshelves downstairs. These are just the ones I like, you know. They're reference points. You know, I was telling a story about Henry Ford this is one of my fucking favorite stories. This is what I was telling you. When someone came into his office, he's like, I know everything about my business. Henry Ford, Ford Motors, multi-fucking billionaire, changed the fucking world with Ford Motors. And a guy came into his office and was like, Henry Ford was like, I can tell you anything there is to know about my business. So your man asked him a question. It was about marketing. So he picked up the phone, called his marketing guy, answered the question. Your man was looking at him going, okay. Asked him another question about sales. Picked up the phone, asked the sales guy, put it back down. Your man's like, you don't know anything about your fucking business. He goes, you have to call on your marketing guy and call on your sales guy. And he goes, I know everything about my business. He goes, I know exactly where to fucking go when I need an answer for something. That's what books are. Books are, if somebody asks me a question, I don't know what it is, or I have a topic to cover, you know, even with the writing of my book, I pool all the fucking sources and all the books that I have references on, and I use those to answer questions and use those.
I think it's a good reminder as well, because some people are watching thinking like you're making it up as you go along, but you are getting this all from different sources. So people who mightn't agree with you, well, they don't have to agree with you, but check the source, you know.
Yeah.
You know the difference.
And the thing is, and I said this to you, and this is one of my favorite things. This is so funny, because I do my videos the way I do them. I'm literally coming across like, he's so fucking anti-processed food. Don't eat fucking Cocoa Puffs. Don't eat fucking this, that, or the other, or whatever it is. Like, it's so funny because I come across like I'm really strong on one side. But the reality is I can see the arguments for fucking every side, you know? It was so funny because I put up particularly that Cocoa Pop video because there was a lot of hate for that, you know? And fuck all you guys got the hate for that, you know? But people are, I love fucking Cocoa Pops. I literally went on my Snapchat like 20 minutes later and I was like, I fucking love Cocoa Pops. I don't eat them because they make me feel shit, because they're processed food and they're shit. But I see why people do them, because it keeps them on track. That's why they do it. They say you should never argue a point until you can argue the opposite side better than the person standing on that side, you know? And I feel that way about most things I talk about. I'm like, oh yeah, this is how I feel. This is where I stand with it. But I see where you're coming from. I just particularly don't hold that stance,
Yeah.
you know, because the reality is, this is why I love reading, because you've got reference points from fucking everywhere, you know, like paleo is better, no, carb cycling is better, no, veganism is better, no, CrossFit's better, bodybuilding is better. You're like, for fuck's sake, it's like, take the fucking, like, there's another great quote that I love, it's like, because you get like, this is what I love, like this is why I love bodybuilding and CrossFit, because I do both, like I do bodybuilding and I do CrossFit, I use the best of both, and people are like, bodybuilders are go fucking CrossFit wankers, no form, you're shit, and bodybuilding, and CrossFitters are go, fucking steroids, you can't do anything but move up and down, like, and you're literally like, they're throwing fucking stones back and forth at one another, and they always say the smart person sits in the middle, takes a stone and builds a house, like, that's what you fucking do. The reality is, there's awesome things in bodybuilding, awesome things in CrossFit. Combine the fucking things and take the best from both. You know, stop being a fucking retard standing on one side going, no, you're a shit. Like, and the reality is, you know, everything has pros and cons. You know, I'm not a vegan, but there's some fucking awesome stuff that you can take from veganism. I use a vegan protein, you know, like, but I'm not vegan, you know, I'm not paleo, but there's principles in paleo about grass-fed butter and things like that. You're like, shit, that stuff's good. Like, you know, take the best fucking, when you hold on to one side, like, for fucking dear life, you're stuck then, because you can't move, you know? And like, this is the thing, because I'm always saying, because I'm a walking contradiction, because I'll get new information on something and go, oh, change my mind. People are like, no, but you said Ben & Jerry's is the best cheap because of sugar. I'm like, everything changes. I'm like, oh, change my mind. Like, I was like, I have new information.
It's like gospel, like, because Brian Keane said it.
Yeah, you know, people are like making reference to something you put up 6 months ago, when you fucking said you could have ice cream all the time because it was good for simple sugars. And I was like, change my mind. Like, I have new information now. I don't live my life that way anymore. I don't like that. I've changed my mind. You know, and that's, when you give yourself that freedom, you can do that because you're not held to any idea, you know? Like, the difference between the goods and the greats are the people are going to be like, oh, I made a fucking mistake, you know? Like, and I'm the first one to say going,
straight away.
Yeah, you go back, and you fucking, you know, we all done, like I've done, like, if you did this video 2 years ago, it would have been very fucking different to now, like, you know? Because my thoughts were different, I was different, you know? My priorities were different. My whole fucking lifestyle, the shit I was doing, and the way I was living was completely fucking different. You know?
Through trial and error as well. Like, literally everything experience. That's
experience. What the reality is, everything's all fucking individual. Like, I have principles that I like, you know, even with nutrition, I'm like, I prefer eating every 2.5, 3 hours, keeping blood sugar stable. I like cycling up and down carbs, keeping foods clean and healthy, nutritious. But the reality is, it's trial and error. You know? That's like, when I always tell people, I'm like, are you a carb person or a fat person? Like, that's trial and error. Like, figuring out what works for you, because there are systems that work. Like, there are training programs that will work for one person. There is a nutritional plan that you're like, this is amazing. But the reality is, people are so fucking different. You know? This is why, like, even in my online programs, it's why I get involved and talk with people, because I have a program, and I'm like, oh no, actually, I want you to do this though. You know? This isn't going to work to you. You know, this type of system won't work for you because you have a half marathon in 2 weeks. You know, you can increase your carbs here because you need to load your glycogen. The context is different, and that's for everything. So if somebody tells you this is the only way, oh, like, there's a red flag right there, because it means you know no other way. Like, if you have a fucking hammer, everything becomes a nail. You know, like, that's fucking, and that's how people are. They're like, this is what works. You know, fasted cardio in the morning and giant sets.
One size fits all.
One size fits all. And you're like, if somebody tells you that's the way it is, like, red flag. You know, a trainer, a fucking whatever the fuck it is. You know, I'm not knocking on personal trainers. There's awesome personal trainers out there. You know, but there's people that are so, this is what works and this is the only thing that works, and you're like, there's your red flag. You know, people are always asking, what should I look for in a trainer? I'm like, go to someone that knows what they're talking about, go to someone that's sound, go to someone that knows what they're doing, and go to someone that can be flexible to you, you know? Like, there are plans and stuff that will work, but if there's only one, I love the hammer nail, you know? Like, the reality is sometimes you need a fucking screw, you know?
That's it. And it kind of branches off into what we can talk all day about, like, sustainability. Like, if that one plan isn't going to work for you, it's not sustainable. Then you're wasting your time. And that's why like, you see so many people, they start a plan or a diet or a fitness, and like within 2 weeks they're miserable, and you're kind of like, well, where do you go from there? Do you know what I mean? Tailor it to make it work for you. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the best plan. Oh, check out Barry's page. What's your page? Southern Fitness. Barry's personal trainer, awesome trainer, and he's going to be stay with him because he's here like every single day.
2 months.
So like, yeah, so he's picking up shit all over the place. So check out his stuff.
Starting to curse more and everything.
Yeah. His content's awesome, so go check out his stuff. But yes, like the reality is the best plan. This is a life thing. The best fucking thing you can do in your life is what you can stick to. The thing that's supporting your goals, supporting your life, and you can stick to. That's the best fucking program. That's the best fucking plan. That's the best fucking habit. That's the best fucking schedule. Is the one that's in alignment with where you want to go, and then fitting into your lifestyle. Like the reality is, there's no point having somebody prepping for fucking 6 hours of meals, eating the other fucking 6 hours, and then sleeping for fucking 12 hours if you can't fit that into your lifestyle. You know, but people do that. Like I'm not a fan of say like intermittent fasting. Because I tried it and I didn't like it, even though the science backs it up, it is an amazing thing. But for some people, it fucking works. You know, some people just don't have the time to eat. They don't want to fucking cook. They're like, I'd rather sit down and eat one massive meal. You know, and for some people, if it's timed right and everything's right, it'll work into their schedule. You know, but for 99% of people, that won't work. You know, and it's tailoring it. Like I always say, it's so funny because this is one of my most frequent questions, and I love the questions on Snapchat. Like, Snapchat's my favourite medium now, so if you're not following me, go up BrianK019, that's my favourite thing that I'm on at the minute. But one of my favourite, the question that comes in is, what's the best form of cardio? Like, best form of cardio. What's the best form of cardio? You've listened to me shine on.
Barry loves the stairs.
Interval cardio. I have a preference to interval cardio, but the best type of cardio, here it is now, fucking screenshot this shit, comment underneath, tag all your fucking friends. The best type of cardio is the one that you don't hate. Like, that's the fucking best type of cardio. If you hate, it makes you sick to your fucking stomach to run, don't fucking run. Yeah. Like, you're not going to get up in the morning and run.
Yeah, it's like, do you plan on doing that for the rest of your life? Fucking hate it.
If you, unless you can, because somehow you can flip it. Sometimes when you get like runner's high and you get that, you can flip it. But if the reality is, if you fucking I hate fucking running. Fucking hate it. Like, and I've done the Spartan race, which was 20 miles, worst fucking training time of my life. I was like bored out of my fucking tree running 20 Ks, but I did it and I was happy and I was like, oh, but I fucking hate running. Like, it takes so fucking long, and it was before I discovered audiobooks, so that shit took me fucking, I was listening to fucking...
What's worse though, I think, is people who hate it and run and think they're doing great with it. They think they're, you know, burning fucking fat the whole time, and they're literally doing this, and you're saying you could be doing a lot that you could make like a lot easier for yourself. Well, and they hate it as well. So you're kind of like, geez, you could be training instead and enjoying it and burning more fat, for example.
That's exactly it. Like the reality is, and I tell people this all the time, and this is like, I have my preferred styles. Like people will ask you, prefer high intensity, prefer low intensity, and all that's great. I prefer fucking high intensity, means I can eat more fucking food, save more muscle, keep my metabolism higher, burn more fat. It's why I have most of my people lean towards high intensity. Takes less time, you get a better bang for your buck, you're not in the fucking gym all day, and you get to eat more food. Great. Like, so that's why I prefer that. But the reality is, for some people, playing a sport, like if you love fucking five-a-side soccer, go play fucking five-a-side soccer. Yeah. You know, you love camogie training, go play fucking camogie. Exactly. Like, go do, you love to run, you love to swim, you love the fucking cross trainer, whatever it is, go do that.
That's it. Like, that's why I talked about one of my posts. I was saying, Joe, when you were younger and you were playing 3, 4, 5 sports at a time, and you weren't worried about body fat percentages or cutting out, you were doing it simply because you loved it. Yeah. So like, just because you get older, why do you have to turn miserable and turn into a chore? Obviously, there's certain factors that are going to make it harder. It's harder when we get older to exercise. Yeah. You know, metabolism slows down, and you know, you have a busier lifestyle. But at the same time, find something you enjoy. Go back playing a sport, or you know, find an exercising system that you enjoy that you're not going to hate. Yeah. It's just not sustainable. Again, like we talked about sustainability.
This is the thing. Like, it's so funny because as we get older, we get fucking stupid. Like, we really do. Like, we get conditioned by the fucking world. We get told how we should fucking feel. We get told how we should fucking act. We get all this other shit from the outside about who we should be, how we should think, what we should do. And that's where that comes in. Because they're like, well, you can't play fucking football 5 or 6 hours a day. That's terrible. They're like,
yeah, you look like a weirdo.
Yeah, you can. Like, you know, go take a fucking football and go kick outside in the fucking yard. No, I can't do that. Jesus Christ. The neighbours will see me. You're like, well, fuck the neighbours. The fucking neighbours aren't making you fitter. Like, you know, like, that's it. It's the same when people are asking me. It's funny because obviously my life and my business are synced up one and the same. And people are like, oh, how do you deal with the hate? I'm like, you're not paying my fucking bills. You're not putting fucking food into my daughter's mouth.
And you're a prime example of that, or what I'd say, the art of not giving a fuck what people think. Like, it takes a while to grasp that, but you have.
It gets to the point, and we talked about this, and you'll have this soon, and Emma's going to have it soon, because my network tend to get it, because I tend to radiate it so much because I feel so fucking strongly about it. The reality is, it's so liberating to not give a fuck what people think. Largely down, and it's funny because you kind of do, and I told you this the last day, that you kind of fake it till you make it at the start. You kind of go through going, I don't care, but you kind of do though. Like, you're walking through going, yeah, I don't give a shit. Like, but it's hurting you. Like, someone said something and it fucking hurt. You're like, oh, fucking dickhead. Yeah. Like, and you know, you're fucking crying in your pillow going, oh. But it gets to a point when you just don't fucking care, you know? And this is why, now I have my network of people whose opinion matters to me. But the reality is, in terms of the business side of stuff, as I said, I have a fucking roof to put over my head. I've got fucking food I need to put in my daughter's mouth. Your hate is not paying my fucking bills. Like, you know, now I'm lucky. I'm the first one to say, the fact that my job and my life are one and the same is an amazing thing, and I'm very fucking grateful. You can see, like, I've got my gratitude shit on my walls because I'm very grateful for my fucking life. Like, but the reality is, it comes down to not giving a fuck. The reason I had this conversation with you, the reason I can put out so many videos, so much content, so much shit is because I don't give a fuck. I just don't care. Like, this video is gonna go up like this. Like, it's not gonna be edited, it's not gonna be filtered out with fucking beep in between and go, oh shit, better not say that. Like, you know,
it's just make it look smoother.
Yeah, it's just not. Like, no, it's not going to get edited. And someday maybe they will be edited. Like, and if I say something then I'm like, oh bollocks, I'm going to get sued, maybe I'll fucking scale shit back then, you know? But right now, largely I just talk at it, and you don't care. You know, after a certain point, and I talked about this, everything's an opinion. Like, go check out the fucking post I did on what to deal with hate towards you. It's on my fucking website. Like, that they're all opinions. Like, everything in the moment is an opinion, you know? It's the same when I say I can change my mind, because what I hold now is an opinion, you know? I may get information down the line that changes that fucking opinion, and then it becomes new, you know? Then I have a new philosophy, and I'm like, oh, actually, don't believe that anymore. That's what everything is. But yet we let our people's opinions dictate the direction of our fucking lives. Like, we take what people say. Like, we literally will take it in. Like, heartfelt shit. Like, that people will be like, oh yeah, you're looking a bit skinny there, mate. Or you're looking a bit fucking fat there, darling. Or whatever it is. And we'll take that in, which is an opinion at that time. You know? And you're literally like, and that person will say those words and then leave and have forgotten about it. You know? But you won't. You'll take it in. You'll be thinking about it for fucking days and weeks and months. Like, a lot of people that have transformed their physique from extreme to other extreme is because of words that were said to them once, you know? Now you can channel that, you know? Yes. There's a way to channel negative things and make a positive thing out of it, and that's an amazing thing. Like, that's re-energy transmutation of bad words to a positive thing. That's a great thing to do, you know, and use them. But the reality is, they're still fucking opinions. They change, you know, all the time. Everything's an opinion. Every thought that's ever been had is a fucking opinion. Everything that's ever been seen is a perspective of where those people are right there. You know, I told a story about when I left teaching first and went in to start my own business, and I had family members, people who would be pretty close to me, not my fucking mum. My mum's amazing. My mum's my biggest fan, because like, people are always like, was it your mum and dad? Like, you know, I'm like, no, my mum's my biggest fan and always has been. But family members, you know, not the immediate family, people outside going, you're fucking stupid, leaving a fucking job that, you know, you would do 3 months off in the summer and you get good wages. I'm like, yeah, but it's a job, I want to try this, you know? And people are like, you're stupid. Same fucking people, 3-4 years later, when you fucking got a new house and a new car, like, I knew you'd make it. It's like, you didn't though. Yeah. You didn't. Because you were saying you're stupid for doing that. But their opinions changed. You know, the reality changed. The circumstances changed. The evidence changed. You know, the resources they could pull, new car, big house, happy life. The resources changed. And so their opinion changed. You know,
but if you were affected or listened to what they were saying, you'd still be teaching.
I would still be teaching, and I loved it. Like, I love teaching. It was a great job. But the reality is, when you let people's opinions dictate the direction of your life, you're going to be molded into what other people want. Always. That's always the way it is. If you don't condition your mind or program your mind gets programmed. That's how it works. This is why I'm not anti-TV. Like, TV's great. Use it to unwind, but you're not consciously thinking, you know? The reason I read, the reason I listen to shit, the reason I have audiobooks, all of these things, because they support the fucking vision. They support my life and where I want to go. I know where I want to go. My goals are up there for 2017, 2018, 2026. They are fucking everywhere. And everything that I put into my brain and consume is working towards that, you know? And I advise that to everybody, regardless of whether it's in a business, a fitness, a lifestyle, to be happy or whatever it is, the shit you put into your mind fuels your thoughts. I'm always saying thoughts become things, hashtag thoughts become things. Like, always saying that because it does, you know? The stuff you put into your mind and what you let into your mind becomes the thoughts that you have. It was very easy to let those opinions go into my mind and keep me in the position where I was in. And I'm not saying this to be like, well, I fucking did it, look at me, look what I did. I'm not saying it that way. I'm saying it to explain, and because you're your own best example. So I'm using myself as an example that it may resonate with somebody else, that if somebody has said something to you, that was the thought of opinion at that time. You need to do your thing regardless, you know? Because people are going to tell you all the way through life, because it's funny, when you get to a certain point, people kind of, and you've done this, where people kind of just assume that I was always like this, you know? And people do, when they meet you now, they can't see what you were like before, you know? Because they have no reference for what you were like before. But I was in London recently, over visiting one of my closest friends, and she's like, you're the same, but you're different. She's like, you are the same person, she goes, but you think very, very differently now. Yeah. And she was a reference point, because she was like, she had the reference point for the old me. She was like, you're still the same person, you have the same humor, you have the same values, but you're different. She's like, your thought process is different. And I was like, yeah. And that's because I actively made, and I'm using myself as an example to anybody that's in a position where they're like, I can't think like that, I can't be like that. You fucking can, because I was the same as everybody else 5 years ago. You know, letting people's decisions dictate what I want.
It doesn't happen overnight, but
no.
It takes a while to build.
Do you know what I think of it always like, and I always use this one, is like motivation, like staying on track, working towards your goal is like fucking bathing. It's like having a shower. Like, you gotta do it every fucking day, you know? You gotta do it every day. Like, you don't fucking shower for a week, you're gonna fucking stink. Like, that's what happens with not staying on track with what you're doing, not keeping yourself motivated and keeping yourself on track. If you don't do it every day, it falls off because compound effect kicks in then, you know? I talked about the compound effect in a blog post, like, where all the things start to add up. Like, I said it in the video before, like 3-4 years ago, when there was, I think it was I remember when there was 400 likes on my Facebook page, and I'm pretty sure 394 of those likes were people that were like, oh yeah, I'll give him a like just to support him. Yeah. Like, you know, and I was putting up content, I was putting up videos, putting up shit, and nobody was watching it. And that shit's disheartening at the time, you know, but you gotta fucking have, the beauty of reading and having reference points was, I'm like, it will add up, it will get better. Fitness gave me that, you know, because you don't build a physique overnight, you know? Like, the reality is I'm 15 years training. That didn't build overnight. That gave me a reference point for when shit got hard. You know, that's why fitness is amazing, because it gives you a reference point. When you get up every day and you go to the gym every day and you eat well every day and you start to get in better shape, that adds up. That can be, you use that as your reference for everything in your life. And now you've got a reference point on the days it gets hard. The days you don't want to get up and do your job. The days you don't want to feel like filling your mind with good stuff. You remind yourself, because when you were on that fitness journey, that's what it was like then as well. You know, because you can't go to the gym 2 weeks in a row and get a 6-pack abs, or get fucking lean or skinny, or drop 5 dress sizes. You can't. Like, your body doesn't. The same way you're not going to build a fucking business in 2 weeks. You're not going to be happier in your entire life in 2 weeks if you're miserable for 5 years. You gotta stay on track, and then it just, compound effect takes over. It's like pushing a fucking snowball up a hill and just letting it roll on the other side. You know, momentum then, like, it's the law of fucking physics. You know, something in motion will stay in motion, you know, until stopped by an external force. You gotta keep fucking going. That's laws of fucking physics. Use fucking physics to help you. That shit will allow you, like, if you're stagnant, something at rest will stay at rest until moved from an external force. Something at movement will stay moving until stopped by an external force. So you gotta fucking keep moving, even when shit stops you and you just get up and you do it again. You know, that's the secret. There's a secret of fucking life. Wanna be happy? Do that shit. You know, get up every morning and do your thing. You know, this is why that hate never really bothers me, because I'm like, this is my fucking journey. I was like, this is my thing. Like, you know, this is what I'm gonna do, regardless of whether it's adoration or fucking death threat hates. I'm gonna do my thing, you know?